So this will be a short video showing how the 3D printed version of the Atom robot works. This is where you keep the two batteries up in the front of the cart for ballast. The on-off switch. And I decorated the front. Kind of looks like an old reel-to-reel machine. And let's see. Well, I'll give you the leg action first. The thing that was interesting about the whole 1905 patent was the way the legs walk and then kick to take a step forward. And there she goes. I did, so far I've done 4 of them. The very first one was just printed in gray PLA. When I ran out of gray, then I switched to red because I was still working on the design at this point, so everything just kind of monocolor. And with each one, I tried slightly different cam variations to even out the walking. This first one has a more aggressive step, so it's kind of a step, pause type thing. I mean, it has the same visual look. You can see how it really kind of kicks it forward. So I kind of reduced the step length to smooth that out a little bit with each one. Experimented. This time I thought I'd try a little blue, and I tried doing the front cover in a two-tone. See how I liked that, and I really liked the way the wheels turned out. Those were quite nice, and again, the action looks the same. These have different motors in them too, because I'm having a great deal of trouble getting vendors to actually send me the 1x120 gear ratio motors. So far, almost everyone up there is a bait and switch. But they say that's what they're going to send you, then they send you the 1x48, which is fast. But 2 of these have got different motors in them with different plastic shells, which, other than being noisy, they work pretty good. See, this was kind of quieter. In this case, I actually found a vendor that was selling the here, maybe a sideways view would be more interesting. That was selling the 1x120, but in a single shaft. And in this particular project, I need the dual shaft. And you can see that one goes a little faster. And I can tell by looking there, this is one of the orange motors. It's one of the newer ones that was supposedly a 1x130, which should be even slower and more powerful, but it's faster, so that tells me it's not really a 1x130, or the motor that's used is a higher RPM, but I think the motors are all the same. So I think they're off on their gear ratio. I think it's probably closer to a 1x110. But coming up next, I'll shoot a separate video on how to build one, how to 3D print the parts, and how to assemble one. And we'll make that a separate video because I know a lot of people aren't interested in that part of it. They just kind of wanted to see the thing operate. But and also there'll be the patent from 1905 that I based this mechanism off of. It was called Atom, and it was basically a porter, a guy that was pushing a baggage cart, and it was wind up. And the only thing I had to add to it was a cam so that the legs actually lock. They were relying on the fact that the legs were flailing really quickly on theirs, so they'd always stay locked when they were pushing. I've got a slower walk speed, so I need to be assured that the legs will stay locked while they're propelling it forward. So I added a simple cam to the whole thing, like this, instead of just a drive. But I'll go into that into the build.